Hey there, listeners! Welcome back to Tell by Bell, the podcast where we tell stories and share perspectives. This season, we're diving into poetry again, specifically the ones from the SPM, English Literature Syllabus, or Code 2206. We'll read them, break them down, and maybe even have a few aha moments together. So, if you love poetry, or even if you're just trying to survive the exam, you're in the right place. Settle in, stay curious, and let's make poetry feel a little less like homework and a lot more like a conversation. Today, we're kicking things off with The Passionate Shepherd to His Love by Christopher Marlowe. It's romantic, it's idealistic, and, let's be honest, it's a little too good to be true. But that's what makes it fun. Let's give it a listen. The Passionate Shepherd to His Love by Christopher Marlowe. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove, that valleys, grooves, hills and fields, woods or steepy mountain views. And we will sit upon the rocks, seeing the shepherds feed their flocks, by shallow rivers to whose falls melodious birds sing madrigals. And I will make thee beds of roses, and 1,000 fragrant posies, a cap of flowers and a kirtle, embroidered all with leaves of myrtle, a gown made of the finest wool, which from our pretty lands we pull, fair-lined slippers for the cold, with buckles of the purest gold, a belt of straw and ivy buds, with coral clasps and amber studs. And if these pleasures may thee move, come live with me and be my love. The shepherd's swains shall dance and sing for thy delight each May morning. If these delights thy mind may move, then live with me and be my love. Ah, the sweet, sweet promises of a shepherd in love. If only life were that simple, right? Now, let's break this poem down. First things first, who's Christopher Marlowe? Well, imagine Shakespeare's slightly edgier, possibly more rebellious contemporary. He was a playwright and poet in the late 1500s. And if historical rumors were true, he might have been a spy. Talk about an interesting side hustle. Now, this poem is a pastoral poem, which means it's all about nature, countryside bliss, and an overly romanticized version of rural life. Our shepherd here is wooing his love with a series of extravagant promises, garlands of flowers, a bed of roses, 1,000 fancy things. But here's the catch. He never actually mentions love, commitment, or real life struggles. Just vibes. This is where we ask, is this genuine love or just poetic sweet talk? The poem is full of idealism, a perfect, dreamy world where nothing goes wrong. The rivers run with honey, figuratively, of course, and the birds are always singing. But if you've read Sir Walter Raleigh's response poem, The Nymph's Reply to the Shepherd, you'll know that not everyone's convinced. The nymph essentially calls out the shepherd's unrealistic promises. highlighting the fleeting nature of beauty, time, and material pleasures. This contrast between Marlowe's idealism and Raleigh's realism opens up a discussion on how poetry can both enchant and deceive. Marlowe's Shepherd is the ultimate romantic, offering nature as a paradise for love. His promises of woven garments, coral claps, and singing birds suggest that love can flourish in the simplest of settings. Yet, can love really survive on beauty alone? Is love sustainable without deeper connection and practical considerations? Another key aspect to consider is the poem's structure. The poem follows a simple, flowing iambic tetrameter, giving it a lyrical and song-like quality. This makes the shepherd's words sound even more enticing, like a sweet lullaby. The use of alliteration and sensory imagery enhances this effect, making everything feel vivid and almost tangible. So, what are the main takeaways from this poem? Well, at its core, it's all about love, nature, and that classic clash between idealism and reality. There's also the theme of time and change, because let's be honest, flowers wilt, rivers freeze, and promises don't always hold up forever. Now, let's talk about the techniques that make this poem so captivating. Marlowe paints a dreamy picture using vivid imagery. I mean, who wouldn't want a robe of wool straight from fluffy little lambs? He also leans on repetition to really drive those promises home. And the rhyme scheme makes everything flow beautifully, almost like a song. And if you compare this to Raleigh's The Nymph's Reply, you see a striking contrast. One is all about romantic dreams, while the other delivers a hard dose of reality. But here's the big question. Do you buy into the shepherd's dream? Or are you more like the nymph, preferring a bit of realism with your romance? Maybe you love the idea of grand poetic promises, but maybe you think love needs more than just sweet words. Either way, it's a fun poem to think about. This poem shows us how words can paint a beautiful picture, but reality doesn't always match up. Love can be poetic, but life demands more than just poetry. Alright, that's it for today's Poetic Deep Dive. If you've enjoyed this, make sure to tune in next time where we tackle another gem from the SPM syllabus. Until then, keep reading, keep questioning, and don't fall for sweet words too easily. See you next time on Tub Bell. I'm your host, Bella Wee.